Fox 13 News at 6 starts with breaking news. Take a look at this picture. In a story that you will only see on Fox 13, this is a convicted killer. Right now, he is on the run after the Shelby County Jail released him.
Now, this was a sudden change for Anthony Green. A jury convicted him of murder, and only 38 minutes later, the jail set him free.
Fox 13's Troyce Grant joins us live downtown at 201. Troyce, Fox 13 learned that this was really an issue of just bad timing. Walk us through what happened.
Yes, so Anthony Green was here in jail at 201 Poplar for
So boom, Pooh Shiesty is reportedly under investigation, and the allegations are wild. Authorities believe he may have helped a close associate escape custody after a murder conviction, and not just any associate either. We're talking about a convicted killer who somehow walked free 38 minutes after a jury found him guilty. Yeah, 38 minutes. A full jury says a first-degree murder, and less than an hour later, this man strolls out like he paid a speeding ticket. Now the feds believe Pooh Shiesty may have been helping keep him hidden ever since. This sounds like a Netflix thriller, but it's allegedly playing out in real time in Memphis. So lock in, because this breakdown gets crazier by the minute. Before we even touch Pooh's alleged role, we need context. Because the backstory matters. The escaped man's name is Anthony Green, known in the streets as Choa Wap. And nah, he's not some random dude. Choa Wap comes from the same Memphis circle as Pooh Shiesty in the wider 1017 camp. Memphis is one of those cities where everybody's connected, and loyalty isn't just a word. It's a rule. To really get this, you have to understand Memphis street culture. This isn't like cities where crews are scattered and distant. In areas like South Memphis and Whitehaven, the network is tight. Pooh Shiesty was raised in that environment, built from the ground up, and the people he came up with are still the ones he rocks with. Choa Wap was one of those day one homies, before the fame, before the Gucci Mane 1017 deal, before the money. That's the kind of bond where people risk everything, not because they want to, but because they feel like they have to. Now let's rewind to June 2020, where this story really begins. Whitehaven, Memphis, hot summer night. A 27-year-old man named Octavius Atkins is sitting in his car at the intersection of Shelby Drive and Neely Road, just minding his business. And then, out of nowhere, a white Mercedes SUV pulls up, and everything goes left. According to police and witnesses, shots ring out from that SUV. Multiple rounds, no hesitation. Octavius Atkins was killed on the spot. Just like that, and it didn't end there. A 49-year-old man sitting nearby was also hit. He survived, but the message was loud and clear. Whoever did this was on serious timing. After the shooting, the white Mercedes vanished. But Memphis police got to work fast. Hours later, they found the same SUV burned behind a building, completely torched. That wasn't panic. That was strategy. Whoever did this knew exactly what they were doing and wanted zero evidence left behind. No DNA, no prints, no ballistics. This wasn't random. After months of surveillance footage, witness interviews, and forensic work, police identified their suspect, Anthony Green, aka Choa Wap. A warrant went out, and months later he was arrested during a routine traffic stop by Mississippi Highway Patrol. He was charged with first-degree murder. But here's where things start getting messy. While locked up waiting for trial, Wap also had a separate theft charge. Much smaller case. He made bond on that theft charge, even though he was still being held on the murder case. Remember that. It matters. Fast forward to September 24th, 2025. Trial day, jury hears everything. The footage, witnesses, forensic evidence tied to that burned Mercedes. Prosecutors lay it all out. Jury deliberates. Verdict comes back. Guilty of first-degree murder. In Tennessee, that's an automatic life sentence. No shortcuts, no early release. Everybody in that courtroom thought the same thing. This man's life as a free person was over. The victim's family likely felt some closure after 5 long years. But then the unthinkable happened. After the verdict, Choa Wap was supposed to be fully processed as a convicted murderer. Bonds revoked, paperwork updated, no chance of release. But somewhere between the courtroom and the jail system, someone messed up badly. At 201 Poplar, Memphis Main Jail, the system only showed that Choa Wap had posted bond on his theft charge. The murder conviction paperwork? Not processed yet. Lost. Delayed. Sitting on a desk. And in that system, if it's not entered, it doesn't exist. So they released him. 38 minutes after being convicted of first-degree murder, Choa Wap walked out the front door. His own lawyer, Brandon Hall, confirmed it, calling it a clerical error. Hall even pointed out how insane it was, because the jail is usually slow as hell at releasing people. Folks with minor charges sit for days, but somehow the one time they moved fast, it was to release a convicted murderer. You truly can't make this up. The next day, September 25th, authorities realized what happened. New warrants were issued immediately, adding more charges, including attempted murder for the second victim. But by then, Choa Wap was gone. A full 24-hour head start vanished. And that's when Pooh Shiesty's name entered the conversation. According to Street Talk and what investigators are allegedly digging into, they believe Pooh Shiesty has been helping Choa Wap stay hidden. Now yes, Pooh is currently locked up himself on federal charges from that Miami shooting. So how could he help? That's where street loyalty comes in. Investigators believe Pooh has allegedly been sending money, coordinating resources, and connecting Choa Wap with people on the outside who can keep him safe, even from behind bars. First, money. Being on the run isn't cheap. You need cash to move, eat, hide, switch locations, buy clothes, and keep people quiet. Word is Pooh has allegedly been funneling thousands of dollars through intermediaries, family, trusted associates, and crew members. And it's not direct transfer. Investigators believe it's structured small amounts, multiple people, maybe crypto, maybe cash passed hand to hand. Royalties still come in, accounts are still managed. And when money moves like that, following the trail gets complicated. Second, safe houses. You can't just hide anywhere. Authorities believe Pooh's network helped connect Choa Wap to places where loyalty is guaranteed, properties under fake names, trap houses, or homes owned by people far enough removed that police wouldn't think to check. And that's where things stand right now. This case is still unfolding, but if these allegations stick, this could turn into one of the wildest legal sagas Memphis has seen in years. Resources. We're talking burner phones, fake ID, rides, cover stories, everything you need to stay moving and stay invisible. Choa can't touch his real phone because that's an easy cell tower ping. He can't drive his own car either because that plate is flagged nationwide. So he needs fresh phones he uses for a few days and tosses, vehicles that aren't tied to his name, and people willing to move him around without asking questions. And investigators believe Pooh Shiesty's connections are supplying exactly that. This is where the Memphis Street Network really matters. Pooh knows somebody in every hood, every zip code, every corner. Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama, his reach spreads across the South. With just a few calls from inside, he could allegedly set up a whole underground railroad-style system, bouncing Choa Wap from place to place, always staying one step ahead of law enforcement. Now you might be asking, how do they even know Pooh Shiesty is involved? For starters, the FBI and Memphis PD monitor everything. When you're in federal prison, your calls are recorded, your mail gets raided, your visits are watched. There is no privacy. If Pooh is making moves, investigators are listening for coded language, watching patterns, tracking who he contacts and when. Even if nothing is said outright, they're trained to read between the lines. And it's not just wiretaps, it's patterns. When authorities trace where Choa has been spotted, who's helping him, and where the money is coming from, a lot of those threads allegedly point back to people connected to Pooh Shiesty. Financial records, phone logs, surveillance footage, nothing's off the table. They're also pressing low-level associates, offering deals and waiting for someone to crack. Because Memphis is tight, but it's not airtight. Somebody always knows something, and once pressure hits, people start talking. Maybe it's someone pulled over with a suspicious amount of cash. Maybe it's someone who let Choa Wap crash for a week and suddenly realizes they could be charged with harboring a fugitive. When prison time enters the chat, loyalty starts wobbling. Everybody knows Pooh Shiesty and Choa go way back, same circles, same homies. And in that world, when one of yours is in trouble, you help no questions. Even if it means catching a federal case yourself, that's the code. And Pooh has always preached that code through his music, his interviews, everything. Loyalty above all. And now, allegedly, he's standing on it even if it costs him more years behind bars. But let's be clear, helping a fugitive is no joke. We're talking federal conspiracy charges, obstruction of justice, aiding and abetting. If prosecutors can prove Pooh Shiesty sent money or resources to help Choa Wap dodge arrest, that's more time on top of the sentence he's already serving from that Miami shooting. And it wouldn't stop with him. Anyone who helped, friends, family, people who offered rides or safe houses, could all be facing charges. The feds don't play, especially when the fugitive is a convicted murderer. Meanwhile, Choa Wap is still out there. As of now, he's still on the run. Memphis police are applying pressure everywhere, checking known associates, blasting his face across social media, Crime Stoppers, local news, offering rewards. And the fact that he stayed hidden this long tells you everything you need to know. He's not doing this alone. You don't disappear for months in 2025 without serious help. Cameras are everywhere. One mistake and it's over. So let's zoom out. This story isn't just about one escape or one rapper. It's about a system failure. How does a man convicted of first-degree murder walk free because of paperwork? In 2025, with all this technology, that's not just embarrassing, that's dangerous. While Choa's on the run, he's a risk to everyone. He was convicted of killing one man and shooting another, and the victim's family, after waiting 5 years for justice, now has to live knowing the man responsible is free. That's psychological torture. And then there's the loyalty question. In the streets, loyalty is everything. You show up for your people. But where's the line? When does loyalty turn into something that puts innocent lives at risk? If these allegations are true, Pooh Shiesty could be sacrificing his own future, possibly decades more in prison, to protect someone convicted of murder. Because let's not forget, Octavius Atkins was 27 years old. He had a life, a family, people who loved him. Another innocent man was injured that same night. Those are real losses. And now, because of a clerical error and allegedly help from people willing to risk it all, the man responsible isn't serving his life sentence. That's not justice. And it's not safety. But this is the reality of the streets, where loyalty can outweigh the law, where the code runs deep, and where people will gamble everything for their homies. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to tell you how it really goes. So where does this leave us? The investigation is still active. Federal agents and Memphis police are closing in, watching every move, analyzing every call, tracking every connection. Pooh Shiesty's name keeps coming up, and if they lock in solid evidence, new charges could drop at any moment. And trust me, they will catch Choa. When they do, everyone who helped him is gonna feel it. The feds don't just want the runner, they want the whole network. And that's when we'll really see how deep this goes. Because if this story proves anything, it's that truth really is stranger than fiction. A convicted murderer walks free in 38 minutes, and a major Memphis rapper is allegedly helping him hide from behind bars. You can't make this up. Stay locked in. This story is far from over. When more details drop, you already know I'll be right here breaking it all down. Until then, stay safe, keep it real, and remember, the streets are always watching. Peace.